High in the Himalayas, a world of snow and ice shimmered under the cold sun. Towering peaks pierced the sky, their rocky slopes cloaked in white. This was the domain of Kailash, the magnificent snow lion. His fur, as pure as the freshly fallen snow, provided perfect camouflage against the blinding landscape. Kailash was a creature of immense power, his every movement a testament to the harsh beauty of his home. Kailash was a patient hunter, his senses perfectly attuned to the rhythms of the mountains. He could smell prey from miles away, his keen eyesight spotting the slightest movement against the snow. Survival at this altitude was a constant challenge, a delicate dance between predator and prey. The biting wind carried scents of pine and damp earth, a familiar aroma in Kailash's world. He inhaled deeply, committing the smells to memory, always searching for the slightest hint of food. The instinct to hunt, to survive, was woven into his very being. It was a drive as ancient as the mountains themselves. Winter had descended upon the Himalayas with a vengeance. A thick blanket of snow covered the land, burying the sparse vegetation beneath its icy grip. The once abundant prey animals had retreated to lower altitudes, leaving the higher slopes desolate and unforgiving. Food was scarce and hunger gnawed at Kailash's belly. Days turned into nights, and still Kailash roamed the barren landscape. He stalked the frozen slopes, his keen eyes scanning for any sign of life. The cold seeped into his bones, testing his endurance. He was a creature of immense strength, but even the mightiest predator could succumb to the relentless grip of winter. The silence of the mountains was broken only by the howl of the wind and the crunch of Kailash's paws on the snow. He listened intently, his senses on high alert. He knew that survival depended on his ability to find food, to outwit prey far more numerous than himself. Each failed hunt brought with it a growing sense of urgency. Kailash had to find a way to survive, to provide for himself in this unforgiving landscape. He was a hunter, and failure was not an option. The instinct to live, to conquer, pulsed within him, driving him ever forward. One day, as Kailash surveyed his domain from a rocky outcrop, a faint scent reached his nostrils. It was the smell of musk and something subtly different, something that hinted at potential prey. He followed the scent, his powerful legs carrying him effortlessly across the snowdrifts. The scent led him to a narrow pass where a herd of wild goats had gathered. They were led by an old, battle-scarred male, his horns long and curved like a scimitar. This was no ordinary goat. His every sense was heightened by years of experience, his every move calculated to avoid danger. Kailash watched the herd from a distance, his keen eyes studying their movements. He knew that a direct attack would be futile. The goats were agile and knew these mountains intimately. The old male in particular was wary, his eyes constantly scanning their surroundings. He needed a plan, a way to outsmart the old goat and secure a meal for himself. The goats were a vital source of sustenance in this harsh environment, and their leader was a formidable obstacle. But Kailash was a cunning hunter, and he would use all his intelligence and skill to overcome this challenge. An idea began to form in Kailash's mind, a plan as cunning as it was audacious. He would use the very environment against the goats, turning the snow itself into a weapon. He gathered handfuls of snow and mixed them with a rare, potent herb he found on a high mountain ledge. This herb, when ingested, would induce a deep sleep, rendering its victim helpless. He worked quickly, his powerful paws shaping the snow into perfect spheres. He took care to mask the scent of the herb, knowing that the old goat would be suspicious of anything unfamiliar. The snowballs, once complete, looked as innocuous as the surrounding landscape. Kailash waited until nightfall when the goats huddled together for warmth. Under the cover of darkness, he crept closer, his white fur blending seamlessly with the snow. He took aim and hurled the snowballs, one by one, towards the old goat. Each snowball found its mark, landing silently around the unsuspecting leader. The potent herb within the snowballs would not kill the old goat, but it would weaken him, slowly draining his legendary vigilance. It was a calculated risk, a slow and deliberate strategy that played to Kailash's strengths and exploited the vulnerabilities of his prey.